And yes, I'm calling future vice presidential candidate Tulsi 2024 Gabbard a conservative, but only because she is. Come at me, Tulsi heads, but like not really. When King himself stated, "I am sorry to have to say that the vast majority of white Americans are racist, either consciously or unconsciously." But news, dude, you call out. That was way.
So, guess what?
That was a quote from his office aide.
So I
remember saying once or something.
So I looked up this quote.
Oh.
And it's totally fucking fake. Now, you don't have to read the whole speech. I read the whole speech. But you don't have to read the whole speech, Cody. All you have to do is do Control F.
Yeah.
And type in racist. Enter. And when nothing fucking comes up, you go, oh, wait a minute. Maybe the person that wrote this article is full of shit.
That was way a long time ago. So much.
Yeah, it was never. That's like infinity ago, you fucking moron. Okay.
Did you ever consider the idea that all skin colors are beautiful? God damn, do these conservatives love quoting this one line? It's like a rite of passage for them. They think of it like a magic spell they can use to minimize any and all prominence of racism in America. It is the "I have a black friend" of political sentiment.
Oh, that's so evil. Okay. This is evil.
Did you know, Adam? The call to unity and for creating a colorblind future is the "I have a black friend" line.
Dude, to equate that, didn't I just say raise your hands if you want to be discriminated against? Cody's basically saying, oh yeah, we should discriminate against people. Like the one meme that we all culturally share to remind ourselves that probably we don't want to be discriminated against and we probably shouldn't discriminate against others. He's equating to telling everyone that you have a black friend. Something that the left has made impossible to even do. It's like nobody's going to use the meme anymore, you moron. I feel like the meme is good for society, please.
Because if America was a racist country, like some people say that it is, Arbery's killers would not have been found guilty by a nearly all-white jury in Georgia. Now, most Americans, people of all races, truly believe in and are inspired by Dr. Martin Luther King's adage that we are all God's children. And as such, we should judge each other based on the content of our character, not the color of our skin.
Forget the fact that it took.
What's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with what Tulsi said?
They've totally twisted it to mean we can ignore racism. They hear that meme now, and that meme means it's like a excuse to be racist. It's so weird. It's totally the opposite. It's basically an indictment against racism.
Right.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
It took more than 2 months for Ahmaud Arbery's killers to be arrested, and it took a fucking video of the incident going viral to prompt their arrest because, you know, the prosecutor was allegedly using her position to discourage arrests in the case. Great example of how our justice system is.
I bet you. Well, first of all, I love how it's like, oh, you know, someone gets charged and arrested and it's not good enough, right? Because the video had to be released. Which the video had to be released because it's not clear under the law, and you can complain that the law is fucked up. It's not clear under the law that they would have been charged properly. So we'll see how that.
Well, all of this too is elite malfeasance. It has nothing to do with what she talked about the jury.
Well, he's claiming it's because of racism. So, and as you said, that would be a different. Even if it was because of racism, there's a difference between saying that America, like the American person, is racist, and well, there's some racist DA or something.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the situation was, didn't he work for her at some point? Like they were colleagues, and I mean,
I don't remember.
He had a friend. Like the DA didn't charge him because he was like a friend thing.
I don't remember.
So
it's totally not racist. And yes, I'm calling future vice presidential candidate Tulsi 2024 Gabbard a conservative, but only because she is. Come at me, Tulsi heads, but like not really. All right,
there you go, Tulsi Gabbard, conservative. I don't know if you knew this, Adam.
Yeah, this drives me insane because it's completely. I mean, people generally don't care about hypocrisy because it's just normal for their team.
Right.
But the team that is, so worried somebody's going to commit suicide if you misgender them is completely, or if someone calls someone a racial slur that they don't like, is going out and like they'll call you whatever they fucking feel like calling you.
A woman of color, this white man,
Right.
straight white male is attacking this woman of color.
Yeah, and it's completely fair game because she's a conservative,
Right.
which
she's not even a conservative.
Which we all know means racist.
She's not even a conservative.
Mm-hmm.
Tulsi Gabbard's fucking not conservative.
No, she's a Democrat, but listen, they completely hide behind this whole, conservative. It's not. What do you mean? Conservative is not a bad thing. I'm just calling her a conservative because it's accurate.
Right.
It's descriptively accurate.
Right. Every
Every time they do that, I think of like the racist Southerner trying to justify the N-word and how it's like, it's just an accurate assessment of the person.
Well, I don't think that's accurate because it's not the N-word. It's just they're dog whistling. Basically, they're saying it's a dog whistle for saying
you're right.
racist.
It is totally a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's perfect. Perfect framing for it. Yeah, they're dog whistling.
Right.
Keep your distance, please. I'm a nice man. And, it's pretty ironic, don't you?
What? We're just talking about states' rights here. It's not. I'm not saying anything about Tulsi.
Mm-hmm.
To think that she quoted MLK to make the argument that America is not a racist country and that most people of all races in America aren't racist, when King himself stated, "I am sorry to have to say that the vast majority of white Americans are racist, either consciously or unconsciously." But news, dude, you call out. That was
So, guess what?
That was a quote from his office aide.
So I
remember saying once or something.
So I looked up this quote.
Uh-huh.
And it's totally fucking fake.
That's a tough one. Yeah, I was gonna when did he say that?
This is not even an aide quote. This is a 100% fake as fuck quote.
Yeah.
Okay, that Cody and his idiotic staff could have easily fact checked in the literal 5 seconds it took me to fact check. Mm-hmm. Okay. All I did was I Googled I Googled this quote. It brings you to the article from this weird publication called The Grid. And this is the headline of the article. Mm-hmm. And they say, this is a quote that MLK said from this speech. And they give you a link and you click the link. Now you don't have to read the whole speech. I read the whole fucking speech, but you don't have to read the whole speech, Cody. All you have to do is do Control F and type in racist, enter. And when nothing fucking comes up, you go, oh, wait a minute. Maybe the person that wrote this article is full of shit. And then actually read the article and you realize, even though they said quote, what they meant was when someone says something is literally killing them and it's not literally fucking killing them, they were reframing what MLK was saying into their woke speak.
Oh, no.
That's what happened. This is not a fucking MLK quote, you moron. He didn't say anything like that. And if you read the speech, it's an interesting speech. It's a speech MLK gave to the American Psychological Association.
Oh, fascinating.
And he's not saying, he doesn't say anything like this, that the majority of Americans are, racist unconsciously or fucking anything like that.
Crazy.
But what he's saying is that we need good social sciences to. It's actually he actually gives
fan of the show, Martin Luther King.
Right. Let me see. I think I saved the quote here. Here's one. He says, I assert at this time that once again we must reaffirm our belief in building a democratic society in which blacks and whites can live together as brothers, where we will all come to see that integration is not a problem, but an opportunity to participate in the beauty of diversity.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wow.
So anti-CRT. No, there's a part where he says that social scientists have basically said that blacks are wasting their time with the whole getting out the vote measure.
Hmm.
And he says, my own instinct is that these views are essentially wrong
Hmm.
and they must be seriously examined.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he's like telling them, he's like, listen, I want you guys to go out there and to actually do, productive social science into, nonviolence and, productive civil rights movements.
Yeah. So but this was in the context of voting, and King was in favor of voting, and they were saying the social scientists or the American Psychological Association was saying voting is a waste of time.
Well, that wasn't, he was just saying, he said a recent major work from social scientists and he used their names. And basically they said,
Oh, okay. So
they think, these social scientists that he quotes said that they thought that it was kind of a waste of time for them to support, to focus so much on getting the voting rights for black people because they didn't think it would actually change anything.
Yeah. So basically they weren't Bruce Bueno de Mesquita and Alistair Smith, who are also social scientists.
Right. You basically
who say quite the opposite. Yeah. Exactly.
You basically had, this is like a direct refutation of CRT.
Totally.
You basically have MLK is citing two scientists who I don't look at the rest of the work, but from what they're saying, it sounds like they're having a very, neo-Marxian left cultural Marxist approach, where they're like, that voting will not accomplish the goal because of the structures of systemic racism, blah 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 blah. And MLK is like, this is wrong.
Yeah. We need voting in the workplace, but don't vote politically.
Right. But,
so
he says this is wrong. This is wrong. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny that Martin Luther King basically sounds like he's going off his intuitions, but if they're firing people for registering to vote, it's probably because voting is going to change things, right?
Right.
Voting is going to mix things up. That scares people.
The guy said this shows you how not aligned with the radicals MLK was. This social scientist Matthew and Prothrow conclude that, quote, the concrete benefits to be derived from the franchise under conditions that prevail in the South have often been exaggerated, that voting is not the key that will unlock the door to racial equality because the concrete measurable payoffs from Negro voting in the South will not be revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have some neo-Marxist leftist scientist,
right?
Saying he's saying that voting it was not the key because it will not be revolutionary. And King says, my own instinct is that these views are essentially erroneous.
Wow.
Okay, it's like this is wrong.
It's funny how our presidential process has completely integrated the black community in the primary system with South Carolina voting.
Right.
Like no Democrat can be elected without the black vote.
Right.
And it all comes down to South Carolina. It's like they openly talk about this. They're like the bulwark. Like they definitely have a veto over any presidential candidate in South Carolina, at least on the Democratic side. Yeah.
But listen, the vote doesn't matter. Adam. Nothing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And here we got Cody reading out fake quotes.
Yeah.
Because his entire team is too lazy to click the article. They literally read the first sentence of an article and said, that's enough information for us to put in our video.
Yeah. Some more fake news. Here you go. Some more fake news for you.
Yeah.
It's so incendiary too. Look at that. These are the words they're putting into Martin Luther King's mouth.
I know.
I'm sorry to have to say to the vast majority of white America. I'm sorry to have to say that the vast majority of white Americans are racists, either consciously or unconsciously. So Martin Luther King basically hated whites, is what this quote is saying to me. What a bunch of dicks. What a bunch of dicks. I'm serious. Don't you think?
I do think.
fucking awful.
You call out. That was way a long time ago. So much.
Yeah, it was never. That's like infinity ago, you fucking moron. Tell me, I'm not a very learned person, Sitch, but how long ago was never?
It's pretty long.
Okay.
It's pretty long ago.
Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.